A very warm good evening to all. Today we are going to discuss about conduction of nerve impulse. A nerve impulse is the electric signals that pass along the dendrites to generate a nerve impulse or an action potential. An action potential is due to the movement of ions in and out of the cell. It specifically involves sodium and potassium ions. They are moved in and out of the cell through sodium and potassium channels and sodium potassium pump. Conduction of nerve impulse occurs due to the presence of active and electronic potentials along the conductors. Transmission of signals internally between the cells is achieved through a synapse. Nerve conductors comprise relatively higher membrane resistance and low axial resistance. The electrical synapse has its applications in escape reflexes, heart and in the retina of vertebrates. They are mainly used whenever there is a requirement of fast response and timing being crucial. The ionic currents pass through the two cell membranes when the action potential reaches the stage of such synapse. This is the representation of mechanism of transmission of nerve impulse through an axon. In this figure, the axon or nerve fibers are in the form of a cylinder wherein the interior of the axon is filled with the axoplasm and the exterior is covered with the axolemma. The nerve fibers are immersed in ECF. The solution is in the ionic form that is present in axoplasm and extracellular fluid or ECF. Outside the axon, the negatively charged chloride ions are neutralized in the presence of positively charged sodium ions. Negatively charged protein molecules are neutralized in the presence of potassium ions within the axoplasm. The membrane of a neuron is negative inside and positive outside. Resting potential would be the difference in charge. The difference in charge might vary from 70 to 90 millivolts. As a result, the membrane would be polarized. Sodium-potassium pump operates to keep resting potential in equilibrium. This is the representation of conduction of a nerve impulse, passing of nerve impulse through an neuron when a stimulus is applied. The sodium-potassium pump stops operating when a stimulus is applied to a membrane of a nerve fiber. The stimulus could be either electrical, chemical or mechanical. The potassium ions rush outside the membrane and sodium ions rush inside the membrane. As a result, negative charges are present outside and positive charges are present inside. The nerve fibers are either depolarized or they are said to be in the action potential. The action potential traveling along the membrane is called the nerve impulse. It is around plus 30 MV. The sodium-potassium pump starts to operate once the action potential is completed. As a result, the axon membrane will obtain a resting potential by repolarization. Now the process takes place in reverse order. It is a reversal of the process that has been placed during an action potential. Here, potassium ions will be rushed inside and sodium ions will be rushed out. Impulse would not be transmitted through the nerve fiber during the refractory period.